today. We are now entering into a weird time in the UFC, a transitional time in the UFC, where the stars that we've all known and we've grown to love are aging out of the sport. They're taking a lot of losses right now. It's almost a year between every fight for them. Some of our champions are on their way out. And basically, there's just not a lot going on at the moment. Not that there won't be later this year, but at this moment, there's not. All of this and more on today's episode of Matter of Fact MMA. What's up? What's happening? Let's go. What's up, guys? We right back at it. We right back with it. It's your boy, Matt. And honestly, I'm just sitting down just to talk to you guys. You know what I'm saying? Because as I was going through this week, I kept thinking, I probably need to do a video for this Apex card this weekend. And at the end of the day, man, I'm just not even going to get around to it. It's just, I get it with the UFC. The UFC has their deal with ESPN, which is about to be up, so it is a re-up year. But they're getting paid regardless. And sometimes you can't get these big-name stars or these big-name fighters to line up to go on your cards, and you got to just throw something together because you have a contract with the ESPN and you need to put out a card. So I get it, UFC, I get it. But sometimes, man, some of these cards you just can't get up for, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And so it really got me to thinking, because there have definitely been times throughout, there's been times throughout a UFC year in the past where, there wasn't a lot going on, not a lot of huge fights, not a lot of things happening at the moment. But what I think is interesting is we have now, it made me realize this week, we have really hit a new transitional period for the UFC. Right now, Israel Adesanya, former champion at middleweight, star in pay-per-view numbers, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Countless sound bites, countless interviews that were entertaining if you're a fan of him. Countless fights that were pretty, for the most part entertaining. Some of them you'll go to sleep on, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying, when he wanted to be action fighter, he could be. And it's not for him that he's aging out the sport, but for Izzy, he's now entering into like those twilight years of his career. Well, we're probably only going to see him for big money fights from now on, because he's probably not ever going to make it back to a title. You know what I'm saying? Especially like he's on like a, he's on a losing streak right now. You know what I'm saying? Right now, Alex Pereira, he's doing his thing. He's at the top. We talking about Powhatan. You know what I'm saying? But how many more years before Alex Pereira starts to make his way down? For right now, he's secure. Let's shift over. We have Steel Knox, Dricus du Plessis, who's doing his thing right now. He's early in his career. We got plenty of years of Dricus ahead of us. Of probably a few years of Alex Pereira ahead of us. Tom Aspinall, he's young. We got plenty of years of Tom Aspinall ahead of us. But much like Dricus, neither one of them have been completely established as pay-per-view stars yet. You know what I'm saying? Jose Aldo, it is a travesty what the UFC is doing to him. Now he's got to fight Zahabi in Canada. Like, the UFC has no idea how to match-make legendary fights for Jose Aldo. They continue to give him weird opponents that frankly just don't have the star power and don't have the juice that if they beat Jose Aldo, they're not going to move on. They're not going to go on to be big stars. They're just not. Remember Mario Bautista? Where he at? You know what I'm saying? We ain't even seen him since the fight with Jose Aldo. It's like if you're gonna match Jose Aldo up with anybody but big name money fights, you have to match him up with stars in which if they beat him, it will legitly catapult them onto something else. You know what I'm saying? That was a side note, a side tangent, but you look at Jose Aldo. How many more fights are we really going to have out of him in the octagon? You know what I'm saying? You got Sean O'Malley is injured right now. He'll be coming back soon. Merab seems like he wants to fight multiple times a year, but Merab fights, that last one he had was pretty action-packed, against Nurmagomedov, but at the same time, it's like, it's hit or miss if Merab's going to have a legendary action-packed fight. Bilal Muhammad, not an action fighter. You know what I'm saying? He's just not. Islam Makhachev. Islam Makhachev is about to hit a transitional period as well. I'd say he's probably got 1 to 2 more title defenses at 155 until he goes up to 170, or he's been talking about going up to 185. So then you're going to lose him in that action-packed division of 155 pounds. We now have Ilia Topuria, who has moved up to 155. But and I know he just moved up recently, but he dropped the featherweight championship. He relinquished it, so to speak, vacated it. He moves up to 155, but he doesn't have a new fight signed yet. You know what I'm talking about? So it's going to be a little while waiting on him as well to get the gears moving, get the gears spinning, the wheels spinning at 155 pounds. You know what I'm saying? We have a lot of talent that's younger, like Ilya, like Tom Aspinall, like Dricus. We have a lot of talent like that that's still out there. Umar Nurmagomedov will definitely be back. Fighting for the bantamweight championship. No doubt in my mind. And Merab is getting a little bit older, so soon Merab will be out of there. You know what I'm saying? Not super soon, but you know what I mean. We're at a weird time where you have weeks like this with cards like what are about to happen tomorrow that aren't really that good. Not a ton of big stakes, high stakes fights going on at the moment. The next pay-per-view coming up, we have Poatan defending his title against Ankalaev. That'd be cool to see. But at the same time, man, we're just in a weird period where the fighters we could bank on, that we could count on for the last 5-6 years, they're now either aging out, they're in transitional periods in their career where they're moving up weight classes, going down weight classes, waiting for super fights. We're in a really weird period, and I wouldn't call them the rookies, but the fighters like Dricus, who could be on the verge of becoming big name pay-per-view stars, we have to wait it out. We're waiting on him to fight Hamzat. No doubt if he beats Hamzat, pay-per-view star. No doubt if Hamzat wins the middleweight championship, he's going to be a star. You know what I'm saying? But this is a really weird time, really weird period for the UFC. And frankly, I'm very interested to see what they're going to do from the middle to the end of this year, because it is a re-up year. It is a contract year. UFC's been talking about possibly moving over to Netflix because of the deal that Monday Night Raw and WWE have, and they're all under the TKO banner. They've talked about moving over to Prime Video, you know what I'm saying, over on Amazon, and starting up a streaming platform on there, or a streaming site of their own through Prime, through Amazon. I don't know if they'll be able to re-secure their deal with ESPN, but I guess it's possible. Really weird time right now. Just, a lot of things that we could kind of bank on. It used to be, we were like, okay, I'm sure Izzy's going to probably fight this month. Then we got Alexander Volkanovski. Then we got Max Holloway. Then we have Islam Makhachev. Then we have Dustin Poirier fighting. Oh, let's not forget. Then we got, we ain't seen John Jones fight a lot in a long time. But, it was moving. You know what I'm saying? It was definitely moving. We had a lot of action packed. Oh, Sean O'Malley's about to fight. Oh, now look, they done pulled Jose back out again. He's get ready to have him fight some other low name, lackluster opponent. Oh, check this out. Now John has decided he's going to come back. Oh, check this out. Here comes Alex Pereira. Oh, wait. Here comes Dricus du Plessis. Let's see what he's going to do. He's on the rise. He's on the come up. You know what I'm saying? And it was just a revolving door. It was just a revolving door, you know, from your Yuri Prohashkas, you know, not saying he's this. And let's be real, Jamal Hill kind of is an action fighter in a way. I mean, y'all might not like him online and his online persona, but he's kind of an action fighter, you know, and it's just like, but at the moment, even though, you know, Jamal Hill just signed a fight with Khalil Roundtree, which is going to be a banger, it's just one of those things where we're just in a transition period for the UFC where the guys that are going to go on to be stars are just on the cusp of it, but they haven't gone there yet. And your guys like Izzy are slowly transitioning out of the sport. You know what I'm saying? Very interesting times. Nevertheless, man, you know, you got to deal with a lot of cards like what's going down tomorrow in between, in the meantime, in between time. Really, the only reason I'm really checking out that card tomorrow is for Manel Kopp, but outside of that, I mean, a lot of those I could take it or leave it, and I watch every fight. But it is what it is, man. Just random thoughts, incoherent rants by your boy. Please like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think. Are there any fighters on the cusp of being a star that you're definitely on the lookout for, aside from the obvious, you know what I'm saying, like a Ilya who's already a star, kinda? So let me know what you think about that. Let me know what you think about this card tomorrow. Are you excited to see anything off of it, which is why I didn't really review it? Let me know. And once again, I do want to thank you guys for joining me for another episode of Matter of Fact MMA. And I'll check you next time. Peace.